So welcome to season 2, friends. We have officially made it, and I'm happy to share that we are niching down and moving out of the business coaching. For those who have been around the longest, you probably already know the life coaching is where my passion truly is. It has been for a long time. And while I will still be coaching a few direct sellers, they already know my holistic approach to make sure that their priorities are neglected for the sake of sales, titles, and incentive trips. On this season, I'm excited to share that it's going to be completely full of honest conversations, lots of heart-to-heart talks as we chat about life, mental health, and pursuing Jesus. And we will definitely be continuing the conversation about circling the wagon and living on purpose, because that really is the message that I know that God has called me to share with others. We're going to be doing some deep dives on what it means to be triggered, how to become untriggered, how to set healthy boundaries, how to deal with conflict when you want to run the other way, aka avoid, and my personal struggles as I continue down this path of sober living and what my convictions look like. Because my convictions won't be your convictions, but I also think it's worth telling the story. And so I don't believe I've talked about this on the podcast much at all. And so we're going to go there. And one more thing that some of you will be excited about, because I always get a lot of feedback when I share these. You can count on lots of raw journal entries of mine being shared. And while it leaves me feeling super exposed and kind of like that naked in front of the crowd feeling, I do believe it will help you grow in your own personal relationship with Jesus. So are you ready? Buckle up, bubble crap. Season 2, it's going to be a wild ride. Hey there, I'm Melissa Batt, the host of Priorities on Purpose, a podcast for overwhelmed women who are tired of going through the motions. You know there has to be more to this life than a cycle of numbing out, scrolling social media, exhausting yourself with a never-ending to-do list, and still feeling like a failure at the end of the day. You have hope that tomorrow will be different, and I'm here to help you make sure that it actually is. I'm a Christian life coach, and on this podcast, we talk all about intentional living, mental health struggles, and tangible ways to be the best versions of ourselves with Jesus at the center. I promise to be your hype girl and biggest cheerleader as I share simple strategies to help you get out of your rut, eliminate distractions, and live the life you were created for. Are you ready to go beyond existing and learn how to truly live? Put your earbuds in and let's get to it, friend. Hey, friends. Welcome back to another episode of Priorities on Purpose. Y'all, it is February of 2024 as I'm recording this, and we are getting ready to launch season 2. And I thought before we move into season 2, I should probably do a little lifer update because it's been a while. For those who have been around for season 1, you have been listening to a lot of repeat shows as I kind of get settled in my new location because we moved. So here's a little lifer update. I moved. I'm officially moved, officially unpacked. I no longer live in Corbin, Kentucky. I'm now in a tiny little town that actually, we're getting our very first Dollar General, and there's not even a stoplight in the town, I don't believe. We're kind of in the outskirts or on the outskirts, I don't know how you say that, of Lexington, Kentucky. So I'm closer to my family in Indiana. And to be honest, it was a little harder than I thought it would be. And so this is kind of a off the cuff. I don't even have an outline in front of me, but I thought I would just share openly because y'all, it has been hard. So I thought it would be the perfect time moving, right? So I was in the process of moving. I really considered it a local move. It's about 2 hours away from where we were living. And I was like, oh, this isn't going to be a problem at all. Moving is very stressful though, no matter if you're moving 20 minutes away or further away. And I definitely had some moments where I felt like I was unraveling and it was not a good thing. I think I should make sure I share before I go any further is that I thought that because I had planned ahead of time to be able to be kind of off my schedule and routine during this move and transition and packing up and all that stuff, I thought it would be a really good idea that I use that time to change medications. Okay. So if you've been with me from the beginning, you know, I've been on this road of really figuring out a good medication to be on because I struggle with depression. I think it's technically coined general anxiety disorder and then depression on top of that. Okay. So I also have ADHD, diagnosed with that in 2019. And it summed up a lot of my life, actually. And so I've been trying to figure out what medications I should take. But I was also super scared because you don't want to just go off medications and try something else. You know, with that comes this worry that it's going to be even harder than what you're already experiencing. And I did a whole episode on the gene site testing, genetic testing that you can have done. I didn't have the gene site test done. My sister did. I had a different one, but basically it's the same thing. You do this genetic testing. It's a cheek swab test and it tells you the best medication for your genetic makeup. And the bad news is when I did mine, there was nothing in like best medications to take for your mental health. There was nothing in the green section, which was like highest, best for your body. There's like green, yellow, red, which basically means like best, okay, do not take. And so I hadn't switched my medication because I was like, okay, there's nothing in the green. I don't want to risk it. And so in the process of moving, I thought, you know, this would be a great time to change this because when am I ever going to be able to really lay in bed if I absolutely can't get out of bed? And while I still stand by that, I don't think I actually understood how hard it could be to change medications. So all that to say, I changed medications in the middle of moving and to go off of one medication and start on another. And we didn't start on like a decent dose. We started on a baby dose. It was so hard. And I remember one time I was getting ready for my coaching call with my coach, Lisa Whittle. And I had forgotten that I had it scheduled. I was sitting in the parking lot of the orthodontist office with one of the kids. And they were in getting their, the braces, you know, all that comes with braces. And I was sitting in the car and I just brain dumped like what I wanted to talk to her about. And one of the things on that list and that little scrap piece of paper was like, I think I need rehab. And it wasn't rehab for drugs or alcohol, but it was because I'm an emotional eater. And I recognized that it was really, really bad. And I needed to not be eating sugar and all the junk food, but I didn't know how else to cope. And there was it was like every single thing going on in my life was magnified times 1,000. And I literally felt like I needed to be placed in a bubble to get my life in order because it was just really, really bad. Like I was not managing it well. All that to say, that's why it's taken me so long to get to where I am today and be able to record this episode and officially start season 2. So we ended up moving the week of Thanksgiving, I believe. And then we didn't have internet when we moved here because we're literally in the middle of nowhere. We had to do the Elon Musk internet, Starlink or something like that. So we ended up going a really long time without the internet, which I thought was going to be amazing. And I quickly was reminded in my quiet time with God, it's like, okay, you need to decide what you want, because one minute you were like, I just want to be still and I don't want to have to do all the things. And then, God's like, I'm giving you that time. You don't have the internet. You have zero things to do because my kids are homeschooled. They're doing their schoolwork. Like, we're just being still and I am miserable. And then, I'm like, I just need work. I mean, it was bad. It was really, really bad. I was struggling majorly. And God's like, you need to make up your mind. Do you want to work and have all the things piled up on your list and never feel like you can spend time with me? Or do you actually want to have nothing to do and be able to spend all the time with me that you would like? Which also brings me to this moment when I was really sick and I'm like, God, it was my eye. I think my eye infection issue with my eye and I didn't have glasses. And I'm like talking to God. I'm like, God, like, you have got to make this go away. I have so much things. Like, I got so much to do. And God's like, you were just telling me that you wish you could just lay in bed and do absolutely nothing. And here I'm letting you lay in bed and do absolutely nothing. And you're still not happy. What do you want? Which is hilarious because I just got my book in that my coach and someone that I truly admire and just adore, Lisa Whittle, she just re-released a book that she wrote a while back called I Want God. So it's like, yes, God, I just want you. And then he gives me that and I'm so uncomfortable and miserable. And it shows me that there's still quite a bit of work to do. And if you thought that I had it all together, spoiler alert, I definitely do not. Okay. So that's kind of the life and mental health update. I finally feel like I can breathe, I can focus, and it's been a lot, but I'm definitely happy that I pursued trying to find a better option. And we're going to talk a lot more about that in season 2. Hey friends, that's it for this episode. If you found value, I would love it if you could take a couple of seconds and leave me a quick review. While it may seem super simple, it is so beneficial and gives me the opportunity to help more women. Also, take a screenshot and share it on social media with your biggest aha today. Don't forget to tag me at MelissaBadOfficial so we can connect. Thank you so much for listening. And until next time, friend, keep walking it out one baby step at a time because God's got you.